So this case is brought to us by Greg, who is a four-time. Greg's been in the full body systems in the holistic nutrition lab community for quite a while, and he's a star student. And the client he brought to the table today is named Karen. She is 30-ish, and she has problems with emotional eating. She is over 500 pounds, a medical receptionist, and on track to get her social work degree. She also has a therapist because of school and her emotional eating. And Brian, maybe you can go on mute because I'm getting a little echo, so that'll help me. Thank you. She's been his client for about 3 weeks, and she's lost almost 20 pounds. Awesome. She's sleeping only 3 to 5 hours a night. Big red flag there. She is starting 5-HTP. There's good research behind 5-HTP and her conditions. She has sleep, mood, and weight loss. He doesn't have any labs for her, and her current protocol is paleo and intermittent fasting. She's on lipoplex, enzymes, probiotics, and 5-HTP, and she's taking thyroid medication, and Greg wants to know other options and suggestions for addressing her care. So I think first and foremost, with a person that is dealing with such big issues of weight, and she's already seeing some change, so losing 20 pounds is a really good sign. It tells us that there isn't resistant weight loss at this stage. I would be diving deep into lifestyle and, you know, helping her to see her patterns. Again, if you're just joining me, this is Bonsai exploring the world behind me here, one of my Siamese cats. So I really be working with Karen to identify certain patterns and being very gentle and supportive with her, especially if there are emotional eating issues. So there's a lot we can be doing with emotional eating. There's a lot of different ways to look at emotional eating, and I, from my vantage point, always see the physiological connection. So I think the first things I'd be doing are not analyzing the food too much, but looking at sleep issues and why she's only getting 3 to 5 hours of sleep a night, because she may be eating, emotionally eating, to try to keep her blood sugar at a level that she can maintain her energy when she's so tired. So without any lab work, of course, there's a lot more we can determine based on labs if we had them, but without any of that or without knowing about that, I'd just be looking at sleep to start with, because when we are fatigued, there's ways in which we may be eating just to keep up our mood and our energy because we're trying to feed the cells something that they're not getting. I'd also be starting to look next with her at blood sugar because she is doing some intermittent fasting. I don't know that that would be the right case at this point in her protocol. So while I am a fan of intermittent fasting for certain cases, so that means fasting for 12 to 16 hours. For her, I'm going to assume that there are some blood sugar issues because of her size, and I'm going to want to actually work with smaller meals more often and potentially do some blood sugar measuring with her. So instead of creating a relationship that's about her management of food, I'm going to look at other things physiologically that may be underpinnings to her, to what she's feeling, so that we can start to shift that feeling state and understanding where physiological underpinnings may be contributing to the emotional state. So I'm a big fan of the practices of psychoneuroimmunology. So how is it that the gut, the immune system are feeding our thoughts and our behavioral patterns, and backing it up so we can take a little bit more of a hands-off, do this right, you need to do this, here are the food rules. Instead, getting to know herself more, getting in touch with her body. Someone who's 500 pounds, is not going to be very in touch with their body usually. So bringing back some awareness and looking at lifestyle patterns would be where I would start very gently, just to reintroduce what's happening. And constantly, if the weight is something that she's saying is a huge concern for her, it's a huge pain point, constantly helping to support her in the progress that she is making. With somebody who has emotional eating issues of any sort or any sort of eating disorder, it's important to know that there may be issues of control or fear of issues of control of certain types. And in that case, we want to really be in that relationship with them. It's not our job to be a therapist, so I'm glad she has a therapist on her team, but to see what comes up that she can share there so we can be sure to be in relationship with all of her with those pain points. So number one, I'd be looking at sleep. Ultimately, I'd be looking at blood sugar and understanding what's happening physiologically to help her come into her body without creating too many shoulds or shouldn'ts around food, because those may be trigger points for her.